My name is Ronnie Hunt. I'm the instructor here at Northern Lakes College. I teach first year through fourth year apprentice carpenters in this program, and yeah, it's quite a rewarding job actually. Trying to get more people in the doors. Hopefully, if you guys like what you see or get the information you're looking for, maybe someday we can see you come through these doors. I've got a small slideshow here. It's a little bit of information regarding some of the programs we offer, as well as some of the stuff you may want to know about carpentry itself. It's quite a wide array of skills you learn as a carpenter, and yeah, if you explore a career in carpentry, yeah, there is so many ways to explore it, that's for sure. Let's go on to slide 2 here. Where do carpenters work? Well, there's endless amount of things that need to be built in this world. Building houses primarily is, well, the main thing, I guess, but doesn't just stop there with houses. There's skyscrapers, there's bridges, it's never ending, the kind of stuff that carpenters need to build. There's an abundance of concrete, especially when you get into, say, the programs I teach. Third year carpentry is one heck of a lot of concrete. So much of the structures that we build and reside in today are sitting on concrete. So as a carpenter, you need to know how to properly install it, make it work, make it I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, your foundation of just about every building that you see all starts with concrete. Then, of course, once you get towards the end of the build, a lot of finishing work. There's also renovations and roofing. Like I said, there is an endless amount of avenues to take when it comes to a carpentry career. Framing. For those of you who like to work outside, framing is not much fun in the wintertime around these parts, but it is one heck of a good way to spend your spring, summer, and fall. We do not have near enough framers in this province right now. Severe labor shortage, and we need to get more people through this program to start building more houses. Not just a skilled labor shortage, I guess, but a housing crisis all over this province. Yeah, here's a few pictures out of some renovations. Yes, as a carpenter, you may be tasked with heading into a lot of older buildings and retrofitting new technologies, new products into old buildings, and actually quite fun, actually, depending on situation. It's a really good market to get into. Here's some pictures of some finished products that look like a renovation of sorts. Some pretty nice tile work. As a carpenter, you will learn how to do tiling. You'll learn how to do drywall, install doors, do this flooring. We teach that all in-house here, and yeah, as an apprentice on the job site is where you learn most of it, but we give you the basics, expose you to it here in our classrooms and in our shop, and hopefully put you on your way to a journeyman certificate. Any questions so far? Nope. All right. Okay, yeah, where do we work? Yeah, there is a lot of commercial and industrial stuff going on in some of the bigger cities. Not so much around here, but you get into Calgary, Edmonton. You get to work on stores and skyscrapers and schools. Like I said earlier, bridges, hospitals, churches. It's a never-ending amount of buildings going up. Our population's only getting bigger, and we need more and more of these structures in our province, in our country, and there just isn't enough of us to do it. So try to get as many people through the apprenticeship program as possible. How much do carpenters make? Oh, yeah, as a journeyman, you expect to make anywhere from 30 to 45. That's as a wage employee. As a contractor, you can be making considerably more. It all depends, and it also depends on the avenue in which you go down as a carpenter. There's certain skills that if you possess are a little of rare, I guess, and you can charge a bit more per hour if you've got particular skills in certain areas. I gotta say, if you get into stonemasonry, which a lot of carpenters do, that is a very lucrative avenue to go down. Tile work, fine finishing. Again, it's as a carpenter, you just find what it is you like, what it is you're good at, and yeah, you could. There's definitely a lot a person can do with a career in carpentry, that's for sure. And yeah, as an apprentice, you can start off first year 60%. I remember my first year back in 2004 or 5. I went down to $13 an hour to start off. That was quite a big hit from what I was working at before. But yeah, go 60, 70, 80, and 90. By the time you're journeyman, yes, you can expect some very decent wage, that's for sure. You're not going to make the same type of money as, say, a welder or heavy-duty mechanic that's working on an oil patch, but still, you'll be doing quite well. This program, it's 4 years in length. It's a mix of on-the-job training and technical training. So basically, you got 10 months on the job and 8 weeks in the classroom with me. And that time with me is spent 50% in the classroom, usually in the mornings. And the afternoons are spent in the shop on various different projects, various degrees of difficulty, from first year all the way up to fourth. From a tiny little toolbox all the way up to fine cabinetry. There's actually quite a some of these projects are actually quite fun to do, actually. Has any of you guys built any projects before? Have any kind of experience building anything as a carpenter? I'll take that as a no. Okay, and what does it take to get into this course? Well, you got 3 options. If you've got English 10 and Math 10, 10-2 and 10-3, that should be good enough. Or if you've got a GED in all 5 general education development tests, or AIT, Alberta Industry Training, they have an entrance exam that you can challenge and try to get in that way. Either way, it's plenty of ways to get into the program, and yeah, it's quite a nice one once you get into it. What we learn and do in this program. Well, first year, we've got to start you guys off on the right foot with an emphasis on safety right off the bat. With a push for all these new tradespeople going into the industry, we can expect that we're going to have a lot more inexperienced workers out there. So now more than ever, we need to push safety as probably the most important part of the entire teaching process. Yeah, we start out with safety, familiarize with tools, then we get into the foundations and floor systems of a house. First year, basically the start of a build. Second year, we still emphasize on safety. But then we jump into the walls and the roof and the stairs of building. The first year we started with the foundation. Now we move up to the walls. Third year, we jump into more complicated buildings, commercial structures, and with commercial structures comes an abundance of concrete. We touch on that. And fourth year, it's kind of a mix of just about everything, but this gets a little harder. Our roof framing and stair framing and building gets a little bit more difficult, it's a little bit more advanced. And we touch on the finished carpentry. Final project is quite a beautiful computer desk with fine finishings and fine moldings that you have to build into it to show that should you be tasked with finishing a house, a fine cabinetry portion of it, that you can do the job well. And this is getting more and more important. You see the last little bullet point there. Energy efficient construction. It is costing more and more for us to heat and cool or build our homes, and we need to have an emphasis on energy efficiency, especially this far north. Build a house right, it'll save you money down the road. Here's a few of the projects that you are tasked with building. There is a toolbox in the top left that is a first year project. It's actually their final practical project. The middle one, that's a bedside table. I do believe that is a third year project. And bottom left, that's the same type of cabinet, just with a different top. I do believe that top is made out of concrete. This one in the middle made out of wood. And this chair, it is not one of our projects, but I think it is something one of our carpentry camps had built. And yeah, it's one of the many things you learn how to build should you come through these doors and go through one of our camps or apprenticeship training. Here's a little shed that second year carpenters built this a couple of years ago. It touches, like I said earlier on, touches on the wall framing and the roof framing. Every year, second year carpenters build something like this, and yeah, it's quite a fun project actually. The whole class does it together, and usually really brings the class together. Quite a learning experience, that's for sure. And what does it cost to come into these doors? Approximately $1,700 per year. That cost covers your tuition and your books. But if you do sign up for our pre-employment program, or 3-month program, it is a little bit more. It is a little bit more in depth. It is $4,500, but that gives you 2 weeks of working on getting your safety tickets, followed by 2 weeks with me, familiarizing you with the trade, getting you ready for first year carpentry theory. Then by after week 4, you integrate with the first year apprentices and you learn right alongside them for the 8-week duration that they are in the program. After they are done their 8 weeks, they move on, take their AIT and go back to work, whereas then you stay with me again for 2 more weeks. We do a few more projects in the shop, and then there's a 2-week work placement program where you go to work on the job and get 2 weeks experience. And it is one heck of a nice program and a really good way to get your foot in the door somewhere. At the end of your pre-employment program or dual credit program, you get to challenge the first year exam. So if you do quite well in the pre-employment, yeah, you can come out of there with your first year certification. I highly recommend that. More information. Yeah, there is if you go through the Northern Lakes website, there is an abundance of information available to you. Trade Secrets is a wonderful place to get into. If you do become a registered apprentice, Trade Secrets Alberta will be like your Bible. You'll be in there all the time, keeping track of your hours and figuring out where your training is and whatnot. It's a very good resource to have. Next year's offerings, yes, we've got a number of different offerings here. We got first, second, third, and fourth period, as well as pre-employment coming up the next fiscal year. Next October is our next first year, October 1st. They finish up close to the end of November. But the pre-employment, they'll start early September. And then they'll stay with me a month, then team up with the first periods on October 1st. Second period, early January 2025. Third thereafter, and fourth shortly thereafter. We still have actually a fourth year available this spring, May, June. May 6th to June 28th, for those of you that might be interested. And I had mentioned how great these pre-employments are. We got one up in high level coming up next September, and Wabaska next winter, early in the new year. So no shortage of offerings. And again, some of these dates might change depending on enrollment numbers, but yeah, that's basically what we have to offer. So no questions. All right. Thanks for stopping in this evening. And yeah, hopefully this little presentation was informative, and yeah, hope to maybe see you come through these doors in the near future.